You were excited to get going with your clinical research, but there's a lot of roadblocks to get through.
Right now, what we end up having to do is someone at the site. So you just call them and say, I have this idea, I'm going to do this study, I don't have enough patients here, how many do you think you have?
It can take far more time to figure out whether the right population exists for your study and where to locate them.
There's certain types of patients that you need, and where can you find that? Like Denver certainly has a certain patient demographic, and if you're in need of a completely different patient population, then you need to go where those patients are. And so some of it's just dependent on that.
Even when you start to define your eligibility criteria and your ideal study population, you find the information you have may be somewhat inaccurate. You don't want to get it wrong.
We would like it to be more of a hard outcome type of accuracy rather than somebody's opinion, if you will.
If you overestimate, then you're not going to meet your recruitment because you're going to think you had plenty of patients. You don't. Your study becomes not feasible. And if you underestimate, it may not look as good in your grant application because, we have 1,000 patients. Well, but you need 300, and knowing how many people will screen fail, how many won't be in there, depending on the duration of your study, the longer it is, the more dropouts you have, you may actually still not be a feasible study, and it can hurt you, I think, both ways.
You reach out, but don't get the answers you need. You're ready to work in the evening or on the weekends, but research support isn't available. They only answer questions during business hours. Wrong paths and false starts can set you back.
Don't realize down the line after 2 or 3 years and several $1,000s that you were unable to do it.
We all know that good data leads to better research, faster time to results, greater confidence, and achieving your research goals and ultimately better health outcomes for patients. Clinical informatics tools can also be used to course correct avoiding recruitment failure once a study is underway. You need answers for your research about your patient population. You need answers about other research invitations and knowing when you should join their studies. Clinical informatics tools like the ENACT Network and others provide real-time cohort exploration and discovery that can bridge the gap between researchers and the data you need.
So if you had a tool that you could quickly put in a search, this is what I need, and it pulls up, and you had data, you could fill it in, and you could get it done much quicker and much more efficiently.
They can definitely be useful early on when you're trying to see if there's enough patients that meet certain criteria.
Learn more about informatics, data resources, and training opportunities from your local Clinical and Translational Sciences Institute, brought to you by the ENACT Network.